We're making some supper. Hungry? Making some supper. Don't mind the disheveledness. I didn't work hard today at all, let me tell you. But I thought you'd like to come along and I'm gonna make some beef bourbon beef. Thought I would kind of take you along. How's your week been though? And I have comments on. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try it with comments. If anybody comes on, I ask, please be respectful. Please be nice. If you say anything derogatory, I will just block you. But how's your week been so far? Mine's been as I set out, 3 more resumes, make 90 more contacts with other industries, trying to decide where I'm going to go when I leave the restaurant. Today, I leave the house every day about 9:30 in the morning, and then I don't have to be there till 10, but I always get there early because that's the responsible thing to do. You go in early. Went in. Well, yuck, I don't know what that is. Went in, left the house 9:30, and I had 2.5 tables today. 2.5 tables. I was done by a little before 1 o'clock because there was nobody that came into the restaurant. Nobody. So I was like, why do I want to stay someplace where I'm not making any money? And that's the whole idea. When you work in food and beverage, when you work in the restaurant industry, you make your little $7.50 an hour, and then you make your tips. Today was not a good tip day at all. Yesterday was and I'm just kind of over it. I'm over it. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it anymore. But my last live that I did, I had 1,000 views on my last live. So whoever watched, liked, made little comments, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm just an average kind of woman trying to figure out how to maneuver through life at this point in life. If you have not followed any of my nonsense, what I like to refer to it as, I'm Kitryn Marie. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I am an artist. I am a writer. I do speak. I'm a life and a business coach geared towards art therapy. No MD. I say that all the time. That's my big disclaimer. Love to cook. Love to talk. Been in the food and beverage industry 32 years. It's a long time to be in one industry. Published author. I have a published book. It's coming up on a year that my book has been published. Been interviewed by several different magazines. I think I've been on 1 or 2 podcasts over the years. And hello Francis, sit down. And then just recently was contacted again by another magazine. And probably that article will come out July, I'm guessing. And it's nice to have people reach out and say, hey, we've seen your work. We want to know how you're doing. We want to know how you're surviving, in this world. So it's just nice, and I greatly appreciate, the notoriety. But, I'll talk about me later. How are you? How's your week? What has been happening? What has been the highlight? What has been the glimmers? What has been the downfall? I guess I should take my bracelets off. What has been the downfalls, the pitfalls of your week? How's the temperature? It's been beautiful here in St. Louis. Typically about June it starts to get really hot. Hello, everyone who has come on. If I don't acknowledge you right away, I'll go back and look. Where are you from? I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. Went and got my nails done though this afternoon since, why not? since I was done with work by 1 o'clock today. I have a slow leak in my back right tire. Sorry, I'm a little disheveled. I had the back left tire plugged a couple weeks ago. Now the back right one. They couldn't find a nail. But do you believe they charged me $10 for an air check? Now, this is a place that, I go to all the time to have my tires looked at and plugged and all those kind of things. I've even bought tires from them. $10 for an air check. The back tire had like 20 pounds in it, supposed to have 40. The other tires were fine. So, we're gonna cook as I talk. But I'm like, really? Is that a thing now? They charge to check the air? Racket. The brakes are like doing some really funky, weird things. The rotors look good. It might be the pads. I feel like it kind of grinds, but it's not squealing yet. So those that popped on, I'm going to make some bourbon beef. And if you follow along, you know I talk a lot. It's part of the life coaching thing. But got the dogs running around. Anyway, it's been really, really nice, mostly in St. Louis. About now, it gets really humid, starts to get humid. My garden is looking beautiful, beautiful. Hang on, I gotta grab the meat and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do this. But it's been really, really gorgeous. And if you're familiar with, can you see my dog? I got 4 of them running around. Shug's laying on the floor. Come here, Lily. Lola, come. Can you see him? There they are. There's Lola. There's Shug. Little Francis is back there somewhere. Can you jump up, Francis? Jump up. Anyway, about now it starts to get really humid in St. Louis, but it's been absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of Wisconsin weather. If you're familiar with Wisconsin, get down, Francis. This is always a crapshoot trying to cook with dogs, but I don't like to keep them in their crate all the time. I'm looking to see. Anyway, so this top round I got at Aldi's because it's mostly where I get my food. But I'm going to show you this piece of meat. Look at this. Is that not gorgeous? Top round was $7.99. I'm going to cut it up. It was $7.69 a pound. It's 1.5 pounds, so $9.61 for this hunk of meat. Well worth it. It makes the best beef bourbon. I'll stick that on here. My cutting board is clean. I made meatballs the other day, and I didn't feel like you wanted to see me make meatballs, because if you go back into any of my other videos, you've seen me make sauce. At least I hope you have. I'm going to use, hang on, my cast iron. Cast iron. It's the only way I will cook. I didn't want to break out the Dutch oven. I picked this up at a thrift store here in St. Louis probably about 2 years ago. I think I paid $3 for this baby, and she's beautiful. If I made fried chicken, this is what I would put her in. I'm always amazed, like with these lives, like people come on and then they go off. Like, what are you looking for? What do you want to see? And you can always see the replay afterwards. Okay. I'm gonna put a little oil in this pan, not a lot, just a little bit. I'm gonna throw this garlic in, then we're gonna cut up this meat. My garlic in my garden is coming up. I'm so happy. It really doesn't take a lot to make me happy. But with the way things have been going at the restaurant that I lend my hand, I haven't been all that happy at all. Friday this week, I think I'm gonna finally take the lawnmower and go get it looked at to figure out what it is. I need an actual new lawnmower. But if they can fix this one, maybe. Because otherwise I've been weed eating both the front grass and the back grass. I'm gonna try to do about 4 cloves of garlic. That's more than enough. What'd you eat today? What'd you have for breakfast? They made a margarita pizza at work today. I like the tomatoes and I like the cheese. I don't like the basil on it. I like basil and other things. What, Francis? I hear you down there. Hi, Bean. And I had 1 piece of that today. And I knew I was going to come home and cook, so I didn't want to eat a whole bunch. But what'd you have this morning? And what'd you have for lunch? Where do you stop for lunch? Do you go out for lunch? Do you bring your lunch? Alright, let's see if I can do this. Since I kind of have mastered how to do the fresh garlic, I really prefer the fresh garlic over the minced garlic that you get in a jar. But feel free, if you're watching and you want to leave a comment, provided you can be nice. What are we thinking about the dress? You know, camera adds 10 pounds. So it looks like maybe I'm big. I'm not. I'm not. I love this dress. Bought this dress years back to go to South Carolina. I call it my Wilma Flintstone dress. I wore it to work today. Because I didn't know if we were going to be busy, if I needed to be out on the patio. You know, I planted all the flowers, so when we're not busy, I go around and pull all the dead leaves and everything off. I just needed to be comfortable. What about you? What about you? Tell me about you. Every great once in a while I make this bourbon beef, and it's the same kind of whiskey that I use. I want to use this all up, that I used for my banana bread. Banana bread was good. I put a little bit too much oil in it though, but it was still good. Kind of came out the consistency of a bread pudding, and I'm not a big bread pudding fan, but it tasted really good with the bourbon and the peanut butter. And now that it's getting like hot or warmer, I won't bake as much. Okay, I've got 3 things of garlic in there. That should be enough. And I'll save this for later. Let's get some red onion cut up. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got the other part of the red onion. There it is. Rooting, so I can plant it in my yard. I got room. My watermelon are up about that much. I've got them in little pots. I have no idea where I'm going to plant them, because if you know anything about watermelon and cantaloupe vines, they go everywhere. And I just don't know how much more room I have outside to do that, but I will figure it out. Even if I have to do it on the side of the house, I guess. Alright, let's do this. I need to get my knives sharpened. Okay, well, we're not going to use a whole lot of onion because I don't want the onion to take over the flavor. I'm going to add some purple cabbage in here too. This is one of the healthiest beefs that you can make. And if it's too tart, you can always add some honey or some brown sugar. But I like it on the tartar tartar, not tartar. So we're just going to do about that. That's 2 slices of onions. Throw that in there. What, Francis? Don't jump up here. Do not. I need to start walking again. I know that. Sometimes, though, when I'm leaving the restaurant, that is the last thing I want to do. I don't want to walk. I don't want to talk to people. I do nothing. I just want to kind of hide. What about you, where you are? What is the general public like with what you have to deal with in your life today? You know, I serve, I bartend, I run food, I do whatever they mostly need me to do. Other than I won't cook in the kitchen because I turn the place into an Italian restaurant. Lady today orders a pizza. What is that? Stop. She ate a pizza, her husband ate a burger, the lady that they were with ate a Cuban sandwich with fries. Anyway, I'm bringing boxes out. I have to-go boxes. The one lady, instead of saying, "Oh, could you bring me a pizza box, please?" she says, "How do you expect me to put my pizza in that box?" I just looked at her and I said, "I guess I don't." I go, "Would you like a pizza box?" "What, Francis?" And she goes, "Yes, I want a pizza box." "Okay, could you not, be nice about it?" Another gal. I said, "Can I grab you something to drink?" She says, "Yeah, I want a Malibu and I want pineapple. Do you have pineapple?" I go, "Yeah, I have pineapple." "Why? Why? I don't get it. Get down, Francis. Can people just not be nice? I know my life is kind of miserable, but I try to be really pleasant. But my God, you can just see it in the general public how miserable they are. Because man, any chance they get to be rude to somebody else, they do. It's one of the reasons why I want to leave. It's just, I understand it's work. I understand it's work. Work isn't always fun. I get it. It's, the best part, I guess, about being a grown-up, you get to go to work and try to make some money. My God, if you are that miserable of a human, please don't come out. Or if you come out in a group, kind of get together with everybody and do one check. Yesterday, which was pleasant, I had a 17 top. No big deal. I've had bigger tables. It was one check, which I was very thankful for. Young kids. Here's something funny. They had ordered fish. We have really good fish at the restaurant. And fish and fries. And when I was bringing out, they were young. And if anybody remembers the Sesame Street thing, here, fishy, fishy, here, fishy, fishy. I had everybody at the table laughing because I'm sure it brought up a moment in their childhood. I try to be funny. I try to be entertaining. I try to, accommodate. Their bill was really, really big. Young. They didn't drink. Do you think she could have tipped a little bit better? Nope. Because some youngins, they don't know protocol. So, because I'm sharing tips with my counterpart, because that's the manager's decision for whatever stupid, ridiculous reason, and she knows I feel that way. By the end of the day, yesterday, I walked with $10 in cash and maybe $100 credit card, which I get taxed on. Today, I walked with nothing. So why? I just don't get it. Okay, so far I've got red onion, because I'm talking and not showing you. I have 3 cloves of garlic. I have 2 slices of red onion. I have 2 good slices of cabbage. Is that just not the prettiest? I wonder if it's too late to plant cabbage. I just love, it's just so pretty. So pretty. Okay, let me put this over here. So by the time I left today, I knew I needed to go check the tire because, like I said, the tire was low. And then I thought, well, I'll just go get my nails done because it'll just make me feel better. And I knew I was just kind of aggravated about the day. The restaurant industry has changed. It goes back to it's not fun anymore. You know, it used to be, it would be my social life along with working and earning money when I actually made money. It's not like that anymore. And I think too, the area that I'm in, I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with that community on that side. And I don't want to blame it on a political party, but man, oh man, guys, it just blows my mind. Okay, so I'm going to take this hunk of meat, this top round, and I'm going to kind of cube it. My kid loves this. And it'll have to cook about 2 hours. This isn't anything you can like throw together and then eat. It has to like simmer. And with all the good things that I'll show you that goes with it. And then I'm going to mix broccoli and cauliflower with it. But over the weekend I made meatballs to go in the sauce. I keep saying I need to get up on the hill to get some new stuff. But I'm really watching pennies right now. Not working at the banquet hall. There wasn't a whole lot for June. I am going to do a liquor demo for another whiskey company, which I'm kind of looking forward to because I get to keep the product. It pays really well. So I'm going to try to see if I can pick up a couple more of those. You know, I said I can't retire till... I mean, I can't retire, period, but I can start to collect my Social Security come January. If I can hold out. I mean, how is anybody supposed to live on $300 a week? I had this conversation with you the other day, didn't I? And it's to no fault of my own. Okay, as I am cubing this up, this is about like the size of it. As we cube it up, I'm going to throw it in that bowl. And then, because I'm going to mix it with cornstarch. Because we got to have it get a little thick, a little bit of a coating on it. But I don't want to be a broken record. I really don't. Let's talk about some other stuff. Did you see, have you ever been to Disney World? Disney World, Disneyland, the Carousel of Progress. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow. The last show that they will have is July 6th. And the song used to be, now is the time, now is the best time of your life. Well, then they changed it to, it's a great big beautiful tomorrow, which isn't the same. But when my dad, right before my dad died, he took us to Disney World. And that was one of his favorite things to see, along with the president, where all the presidents are in puppet mode, animation, and they all come to life and talk. But anyway, so the Carousel of Progress is going away. Kind of makes me sad. Then here, local news, Steve's Hot Dog. And I think they used to be on Shenandoah. I know there's one on Grand Avenue. But anyway, some yahoo broke out his windows one night and then had the audacity to come back the next day and break out more windows. What is wrong with people? What, they're just not happy until they're destroying somebody's property? My God, life is hard enough right now. Must you be so destructive? And then this Friday at Tower Grove Park, it's Food Truck Friday, which I might try to go out and talk to some of the food truck people to see if they might need any help for, the summer coming and with events and things like that. I'm trying to figure out what do I want to do once I leave the restaurant, because once you have done one industry for so long and you've done so many different avenues, jobs within that industry, you get to a point where you're like burnt out and you don't ever want to have to do it or look at it again. But there's something in the back of your head that says, well, what else are you going to do that you are more than qualified for? And because I'm not able to teach any of my classes right now, I gotta wash my hands, hold on. Since I'm not able to teach any of my classes, because I don't see anybody, ringing my phone off the hook saying, hey, I want to take one of your art classes. I want to learn how to paint. I want to learn how to put a vision board together. I want to start a side hustle. And then, I want to learn how to write a book. My phone's not ringing. I wish it was. I wish we could go back prior to COVID, when the world seemed like we had some kind of progress. We knew how to talk amongst each other. We knew how to be social and to behave. People wanted to be interactive with each other, because that's when my business was all kind of going. I wasn't making $1 million, but I was making money at it, So, okay, so I have all of this right here. I'm going to take a little bit of salt. Let's do it the other way. Now remember, I have the cabbage, the onion, and the garlic in here. I'm going to put some sea salt in here. The salt tenderizes your meat. And you need salt in your diet. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. And I put a little bit of salt in my coffee, like for an electrolyte. But man, my body's been cramping up really, really bad. And I drink water. I got water right here with some lemon. I'm hydrated that way, but I don't know what it is. Like, I have aches and pains that I never even knew I had. Like last night when I came home from work after carrying a tray all day yesterday, my hands were numb. I talked about that in my video this morning if you scroll wherever. And then, it's like, I don't know, what is that now? It's like I feel like at some point everything is going to even out. Like everything's going to work to all of our highest advantage. But things just seem really, really bleak right now, and I don't like that. I don't like to have that feeling at all. And I want to be social again. I want to be able to interact and do fun things. But how does a person afford it? You go to work. Did we have the conversation about the 3 places? Since, what did they say? Since 2008, we used to have 3 places. We would have home, we would have work, and then we would have that place that we would go to hang out, to, intermingle with others. Since about 2008, it started to dwindle. Well, here we are, 2026. I'm going to wash my hands again. Hold the thought. Here we are, 2026, and we're lucky if we have the energy to go to work, deal with all the crap that we have to deal with in our jobs, trying to make numbers, trying to meet quotas, trying to build teams, trying to put projects together, whatever your job is. And, it's draining. It is just absolutely draining to have to go to work. Not that you don't want to go to work, but it's almost impossible to have some kind of good demeanor when you go to work. I don't know, and I don't really know what the solution is. I really don't. Hang on, I gotta figure out which one I'm turning on here. There we go. You know, it's routine, 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 and I always say routine will kill you. Routine will. If you are not happy in the environment in which you are living and working, and then kind of hanging out, your routine will hurt you in the long run. Okay, I got my meat with the cornstarch on it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Probably could have used a little bit more, but I don't want to. I'm going to let this saute a little bit. You want to see this? Before it gets too hot. You see that? That cast iron pot is heavy. Let's turn that up. Let's find a good wooden spoon. We need a good wooden spoon. Do I have one? No, I don't. The dishwasher is clean. This will do. Get that all kind of sauteed. But you know, it used to be if you went to work, at least you kind of liked everybody that you worked with. At least you hoped you did. You had this grand idea of the environment in which you wanted to work in because you thought you were contributing something. Doesn't feel like that anymore, does it? I said in my video this morning I want to put my dogs to work. Let them go to work for a while. Oh, it smells so good. That smells so good. I haven't heard too from, I had signed up for a company called Cozy Meal where they do meal prep for like people who don't want to cook. They order all the groceries and then they tell you what kind of meals that they normally eat, and then you go and you cook for them, and then you just stockpile it for the week for them. I could do that easy, very easy. I used to have my serve safe. I have my hepatitis A card. I mean, when you're in the food and beverage industry, you have to have all those things anyway. You know, I thought, well, maybe there's a food truck out there that just needs somebody to be a cashier, to talk to people, take an order. I can do that. Maybe there's a company out there that, you know, needs somebody to schedule and coordinate things for them. I can do that. I can do all kinds of social media. I can do all kinds of photography. All kinds of content creating. And I think today's the 3rd, the 6th, all of my new equipment that I ordered should be showing up. And I'm hoping that apparatus that I got for my phone that fits on the camera, I hope it's compatible, because that'll be such a lifesaver. I have to get more memory on Google, which is a racket, and I'm sure you've heard me say that before. All the things you need when you're using your phone. Oh God, that smells so good. I'm gonna let that saute a little bit. Yesterday I was in a pretty decent mood. I get a little giddy and a little sarcastic, and I do watch my tone sometimes. But I was sure yesterday I was going to go in, and that was going to be the day that I said I'm done. I'm not coming back. I don't typically do that, but things have gotten so bad. So bad. You know, sometimes you can't stick it out. When you know it is, well, one, you're going broke at your own job. You're supposed to be there to make money. And then you see all the really bad decisions that people are making to benefit them. I don't know. I think a lot of us are just really, really burnt out. We're burnt out. We're struggling in ways that we have never had to struggle before. You know, it's like, how much can you cut out? How much can you give up? I had $12 Monday, $12 in my wallet. And I was like, I'm going to go to Plato's Closet and I am going to go look for a new dress. I found one, $3. It's cute. It's mustard kind of color. I have to wash it though before I can wear it. I felt like I needed to treat myself to something to kind of make my mood a little better. This Friday I'll go to the grocery store, I'll go to my produce place. I have to get back in the habit of cooking. I want to grill some more. I have to show you this though that I bought. Actually, I bought it a while back when I thought my person and I were going to be camping. But look at this. Isn't this nice? Can you see it? So it is a Weber. But I thought for a pizza, to make like a little pizza or to make some bread on the fire top. So I have this for my outside grill. Oh, someone's at my door and I don't know how to pause. Just stay there. You see that hawk up on the line out there? Look up outside on the... It's my kid. He's home early from work. There's a huge hawk out on the line out there. Someone had said, and one of the things that I saw this morning, if you make friends with the crows, they will keep all of the hawks out of your area. I haven't seen a crow around here in a while. Did I tell you about the snake I stepped on? That was interesting. Okay, that's just perfect. Now I'm going to put the meat in. I'm just going to use my hands. Put them in. Anyway, I'm hoping Friday if I go to the food truck thing, I'm going to take my camera, take some pictures, and then I'll be able to use it for my social media. I miss doing those things. I really do. Hold on, I'm washing my hands. Okay. I said to the person I work with today, I said, I don't understand how management is expecting people to come out for lunch when things are so expensive. Although I don't know what area you all live in. Gas was down to $3.99 a gallon. And it came down from $4.39, $4.49. I mean, it was up there. But if you're a millennial, are you going out to lunch? Do you have the money to go to lunch, or are you cooking and bringing stuff, or are you having things ordered in? that generation underneath, I don't know what any of them are doing because they're not coming out for lunch. Okay, we're just browning this meat. We're not cooking it all the way through because, can you hear it though? Okay, so I'm gonna let that cook a little bit. So you just paid $5.51. That's crap, is it not? That's just horrible. And then what did I see? Diesel was going up. How? Anyway, you put some beef broth in with the meat. You take some apple cider vinegar. You mix that with that. You take some apple juice. You mix that in there. Like I said, if you wanted a little on the sweeter side, you can add honey, or you can add brown sugar. Then I was out of like soy sauce, but I had these packets from every great once in a while we get Chinese, and we don't use these. So I have 7 of these soy sauce packets. Okay. Let's turn this down again. Okay, because now it's got to just simmer. So we're going to take some of this beef broth. Just a little bit. Not a lot. We just don't want all that meat to dry out, and we want to be able to create a gravy for it so it cooks in it and it gets so tender. The apple cider vinegar makes it really, really tender too. I put $25 in my tank a week ago. It was on a 1/4, and it gave me 3/4 full, and I drive a Jeep. And I know I need gas again. After driving all over, trying to get to my daughter's on Saturday with being stuck on the highway, and then trying to be rerouted in a flash flood area, I know I used quite a bit of gas. Alright, I am going to, before I add the apple juice, I'm going to do these soy sauce things. You gotta be careful, because if you don't cut this just right, it goes everywhere. But how are you entertained these days? Are you at that point where you're just like, there's absolutely no reason to go out to do anything anymore? Let's try to speed this up a little bit. That's enough. Maybe I'll wait before I put the other ones in. So you don't want it to be too salty. See, and it's getting that nice coating. Now there you're going to hear the dog. Let me see if I can get you maneuvered so you can see where I'm at with this. There you go. But the longer it cooks, it kind of thickens up. Okay, and then we're going to hit it with some apple juice. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then we're going to take that whiskey, that bourbon. When I do that liquor demo, you better believe I'm gonna stock up on my little bottles so I have things to cook and bake with. Remember, the alcohol burns off. You're just going for the flavor. And because it is beef bourbon, this is the key ingredient. You gotta be careful your flame's not too high and you don't, make it like blow up. Smells lovely. Absolutely lovely. What are you having for supper tonight? I'm gonna clean some of this up because I hate having a mess when I'm cooking. I have some really good sausage downstairs and some chicken. I might grill that all up this week. Did you know you can take mayonnaise and mix it in with your Italian dressing and marinate your chicken in that, and your chicken will be so tender it completely falls apart? Sometimes I like to do chicken completely different. Once my vegetables in the garden all come up, I will have so many snap peas and potatoes. I will be an accomplished farmer. Okay, now we're going to turn this up because I want it to come to a boil. And I think I'll serve this over rice. I'll go in tomorrow. I'll see how my day is at the restaurant tomorrow. When I'm done here, I'm going to get back on the computer and make a few emails to send. Try to drop the lawnmower off at the place to get fixed. Shug, come here. Come here, Nolly. Friday, I'll try to weed eat the best I can. And then Friday night, I think I'll go to the food truck thing at Tower Grove Park. Oh, here's something I wanted to tell you. Here's something I wanted to tell you too. One of my Facebook friends, you will always hear me say, you're never too old and you're never too old and it's never too late. My Facebook friend who grew up in my same neighborhood. He was maybe 4 years, 5 years tops younger than me. He passed away, had a heart attack. Nice guy, good looking guy, big guy, like 6'4", 6'5". He had heart issues, but he was taking care of them. Was a graphic designer. That was his career. And he retired from that because that's another industry that's changed. And he went to go drive a bus because he loved kids. Just a jovial, good, big guy, like the kind that would give you a good bear hug. Wasn't quite a serial dater, but was so intent on trying to find the right woman in his life. So through Facebook, like we all do, we tell our story, we let everybody know what we're doing and how we're doing it, and you see our successes and you see our woes, and we see things that you don't want to see or you don't want to hear about. Well, finally, he found a really cute, nice gal. She looked just like she matched his energy and everything. I think they had been dating less than 6 months. You could tell they were in love. And sadly, the other day he had a heart attack and died. And that makes me sad. That makes me very sad because there are so many people who wait. They have stupid excuses. They do stupid things to sabotage relationships. They put everything on a back burner. They always think they've got more time. And you know what? Time gets away. Here we are. It's June 3rd already. Before we know it, it'll be the end of June. I mean, look how fast this last 6 months have gone by. So think about your own life and your own mortality and think about all the things that you are putting off. One, because your ego and your pride is in the way. Think about all the things that you keep pushing off, like I'll take care of it later, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Are those that have their walls all up and why you can't get involved with anybody, or you're difficult, the person's difficult, and you refuse to look at the situation for what it is, either trying to work through it or addressing your own self. And like I say, as a life coach, when I'm teaching my vision board class, I am the girl that holds the mirror up in front of you, and I will say you can't be a victim in a situation that you've created. You have to address all the demons, whether you like it or not, because you can't keep avoiding and hoping somehow or another, miraculously, something is going to, work in your favor. So here, my friend that I knew from, my neighborhood and through Facebook and so on and so forth, he passed away, leaving behind a woman he just met who he was madly in love with, a job that he was so respected in, 2 grown daughters with children, so, his grandchildren will not know him. But think about all of those things in your own life, because things happen like that. So don't wait. Don't put anything off in your life. If you've got, oh, thank you, I'm going to be 65. But don't put things off in your life. If there's something you need to take care of it. If there's something that you need to say it. If there's something you need to act upon it. Don't wait. If you want to try for that new job, go for it. If you want to try a new recipe and you want to get yourself all in shape and so on and so forth, work on it. You're not too old. It's not too late. And don't let the fates take your life from you, missing out on all kinds of things and missing out, other people missing out on the good experience that they can share with you and you with them. I talk about those things in my life coaching class. But I'm sad my friend passed. So don't let that be you. Don't. Life's just so short, and it's so unfair. It is so unfair. Do the things you need to do with what you have to work with while you have the time to do it, and address all those things. Address all those things. All right, this is thickening up. I'm going to show you one more time, and then I'm going to get off here. I've been on here almost an hour. Thanks, everybody who has watched, everybody that has made a comment. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, or you can email me at kitrynmarie@gmail.com. If you're interested in an art class, creative painting class, it's $48 a person, minimum 12. It is a group. I come to you. If you're interested in learning how to put a vision board together based in life coaching, learning about character, behavior, and awareness, your product of the life that you came from, product of environment, who influenced you, why you became what you are today. If you want to learn how to start a side hustle, business coaching. The vision board class is $65. You provide all the materials. Business coaching is $95. It's a one-on-one. We talk about your gift, your talent, how to monetize your hobby. If you want to learn how to write a book, because I am a published author, I'd be happy to share that with you. And that is also $95. But here, let's look at this real quick one last time. Look at this. See how it's thickening up? Come on, bite. Bite. Doesn't that look good? It will simmer. It will simmer, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm going to turn it on low. I'm going to put a cover on it. And then I will serve it over some rice. Like I said, I have broccoli and cauliflower that I will mix with it. But for today, for tomorrow, man, I am a hot mess. for today, for tomorrow. Be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Remember, fate turns on a dime, and it is up to you to decide what side of that coin you want to be on. Take the chance, take the risk, do something different. Don't let people dim your light. Don't let other people miss out on all the things that you could have and you should have said when you had the time to do it. But y'all take care. And thanks everyone for, liking and making comments and so on and so forth. But take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.